Is at 8 a.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good? Hey listeners, tune in to Nostalgic Radio and Cars Tuesdays at 7 p.m. I play some groovy 60s, 70s music and talk about far-out cars. I'll bring you up to speed on some bitchin' car shows, swap meets, and vintage racing. So join us Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Listen to my interviews with special car guys, celebrities, racers, builders, customizers, and collectors. We'll discuss cars, auctions, values, restoration, project cars, and parts. We'll have featured cars. We'll talk about test drives. We'll include topics on boats, planes, and vintage musical instruments. So tune in to Nostalgic Radio and Cars Tuesdays at 7 p.m. on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Tune in Saturdays from 3 to 5 p.m. for Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. That's 2 hours of great gospel music every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. All brought to you by the Ozona Pig Restaurant in Ozona. Yes, that's every Saturday from 3 to 5 p.m. It's Miss Sarah's Dynamic Gospel Power Show. Tune in on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Rays have won the American League pennant. The Tampa Bay Lightning win their second straight Stanley Cup.
And when the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady.
I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network. The home team is brought to you in part by Iceman Development, LLC, a pioneer in ice rink development. By the Palm Pavilion, 10 Bay Esplanade on Clearwater Beach. By the Original Mattress Factory, with 3 Tampa Bay locations. By Mahoney's Auto Repair, 4040 Fifth Avenue North in St. Petersburg. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Well, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the home team. So glad to have you with us. Big Ed running the board today for us, as he is the main guy here at the Tan Talk Radio Network, but Matt is out this week. So did you notice how much quieter it was this morning prior to the show, Jason?
For the time being.
What's that, Paul? What's that, Paul?
Until we start talking.
I just wanted to let you know that.
He's been around him a lot, so he does a pretty good impression of him. But we're glad to have you with us today. And wow, what a huge sports day it is. Plenty of college football. Jason will get into the menu for today. We've got really 4 sports going at the same time now that basketball has started and baseball is still going on. And what a wild finish last night to Game 1 of the World Series, Jason.
First ever walk-off grand slam to end the game in World Series history. Freddie Freeman brought back Shays. They showed the flashback of Kirk Gibson in the '88 Game 1 World Series. You know, kind of hobbling around, but got the home run. Yeah. The famous Joe Buck call, "I don't believe what I just saw." And and of course Freeman's legs weren't as bad, but a bum ankle. He's been dealing with an ankle injury, so not moving as at his best. And first pitch he sees, gone, out of there. What a game! I was listening to on Sirius XM on my way home from the Magic game last night, and we'll get into that in a bit. But I was listening to the Yankee broadcast, and in the top of the 10th inning, or I think it was the top of the 9th inning, actually, he went into his home run call for Gleyber Torres. Right. And it's funny because he was saying, "It is high, it is far, it is gone, a home run." And the fan interference. And then he says, "Well, wait a minute." Yeah. Torres stopped at second base. And then he says, and then his color person, Susan Waltman, says, actually a fan reached over and
caught the ball, and I think they're calling fan interference.
Yeah.
So that was an unusual part of the game as well. But boy, I'll tell you what, if games 2, 3, 4, and if necessary 5, 6, and 7 live up to that, we got a whale of a World Series.
Well, these are the two of the most storied franchises in baseball, and they're from the two biggest television markets, and then two of the biggest
teams in baseball.
Yeah, and the two best teams in baseball this year. Yeah, it is. So Yankees Dodgers. The names are brands, and it's a big deal. And
but
all
yet
the
they haven't met since 1981. That's the last time that they played each other in the World Series.
Yeah, hard to believe. Yeah,
so,
and they were honoring, did a nice honor for Fernando Valenzuela, who passed. Of course, he was Rookie of the Year that year, Cy Young winner, and they led the Dodgers to the World Series win. Yeah, because he recently passed away.
So it was quite a night last night for Game 1 of the World Series. Game 2 coming up tonight from Dodger Stadium, and then a travel day tomorrow. And Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, if necessary, next week at Yankee Stadium. So lots of action going on as far as the World Series is concerned. On the subject of baseball, we still have the issue of the Tampa Bay Rays and where are they going to play next year. You had an interesting article there, and I've not heard this mentioned prominently anywhere.
My mom was reading the paper. She pointed this out. This is by writer Peter Golenbach of the Tampa Bay Times, and he suggests Al Lang Stadium in St. Pete would be the best decision. Talking about the fact that the Tampa Bay Rowdies currently play there. Sternberg owns the Rowdies, so he thinks that they would be able to work out the schedule. Any scheduling issues. Also, he thinks that the parking wouldn't be an issue because they could use the nearby Mahaffey Theater as well as the airport there and one of the USF Pinellas campuses, among other things, to help with the parking. Now, he does acknowledge that they would have to add on to the stadium. It's a 7,500 seat stadium, so they would need to do some repairs because it also had damage from the storm, but they could repair it and add some seating. He thinks they could do that prior to the start of the 2025 season, and that he thinks that would be worth it because he is avidly against looking at outside the city, Orlando, Miami, places where Rays fans are just not going to travel on a regular basis. He wants to keep it in the area so Rays fans can attend because really the stadium. I know we had mentioned last week we thought the new stadium would be 2027. It's actually 2028 for the new stadium's completion date. So you're talking 3 seasons. They've got to find a temporary home. And
without alienating their fans. Without
alienating the fans, exactly right. So according to Peter Gollenbuck, he thinks that Al Lang Stadium would be his choice, which is an interesting option. That I'm sure that they're going to look at that.
I just wonder how much it would take to reconfigure it from soccer back to baseball because that was a pretty big project to make it into a soccer stadium.
Right. So that's interesting. Again, personally, I still think the best place would be Steinbrenner Field. I think that's in the ideal location. It's a very, very nice stadium. I think you add some seats to that, make a few changes if the Yankees would allow that. I think that's the best option that I would like to see happen.
Maybe in exchange for the Yankees allowing them to play there, the Rays would pay for the additional seats, and then the Yankees would have a bigger spring training facility.
Yeah, I mean, whatever they can work out, but obviously they're going to have to do something because the bill that they were proposing it would cost to repair the Trop is kind of outrageous. Not to mention that the building just doesn't seem to be safe right now.
Yeah, and it's only 3 years, too.
Exactly.
Why spend that kind of money for 3 years? So we'll get your thoughts on that. If you've had some time to kind of digest it in the past week, we'll want to hear from you. The Bucks tomorrow. I was saying before the Baltimore game, okay, if they lose this one and beat Atlanta, that's the key. The Atlanta game is much bigger than the Baltimore game was. And not only did they lose the game to Baltimore, but they lost their 2 best receivers in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. And there's been a lot of questioning, Jason, about why Chris Godwin was still in the game that late And of course, Todd Bowles says we're trying to win the game.
Exactly.
And we were within 10 points.
Well, listen, people can just act dumb sometimes. Yeah, why can't Todd Bowles can predict the future? Why can't he be a Nostradamus? Shouldn't he have known that Chris Godwin or any one of his players was going to get injured? No. Mm-hmm. That's not how it works. And you know that the interesting thing about that game, the Bucs had gotten an onside kick. They almost recovered a second onside kick. Okay, they'd gotten it back to within 10 points. They had 3 timeouts left, the Bucs did. So now think about this. If, let's say, people had said they should just concede the fact they're not going to win that game so you don't get anyone hurt. So Baltimore got the ball back after the second onside kick, and they obviously ran the football. The Bucs spent all their 3 timeouts to get the ball back. I guess for the people criticizing why was Godwin and the others in the game should have said at that point they should have conceded the loss and not called their timeouts. Mm-hmm. But don't you know that if they just allowed Baltimore to take a knee or run the ball and run the clock out without spending those timeouts, he'd get criticized for that. So it's always in hindsight. Why did you do this? But I mean,
Monday morning quarterback, or in this case, Tuesday morning quarterback.
That's just the Bucs had the ball, and even though the chances of winning were highly low, the thinking was, I think there was just over 1 minute left in the game. If you score as quickly as possible and you get another onside kick, and if you happen to get the other onside kick, which I will say McLaughlin kicks a good onside ball. He got the good bounce with both of them. If you get that, then you've actually got a chance to miraculously win the game or even tie it and send it to overtime.
Big Ed, why don't you weigh in on this? Do you think Coach Bowles was correct in having Godwin in the game in the final moments?
Well, let's reverse that. Let's say he pulled everybody. Then the Monday morning quarterbacks would have said, well, why'd you give up so early? You know, and yeah. I don't want to make a comparison, but I seem to remember a Monday night game that involved the Indianapolis Colts.
2003.
And one Peyton Manning. I'm not saying that Baker Mayfield is Peyton Manning. But, boy, if it can happen, it can happen.
Yeah.
And you want to exhaust all, but he didn't have any knowledge what it was going to. And the other part was defense couldn't stop him. Mm-hmm. You know, if they got a 3-and-out, then we got a bigger game. But, hey.
Well, it's all hindsight now, and unfortunately, Godwin is out for the rest of the year.
But I do have to question why after that touchdown. Why was Mike Evans back in the game? He was clearly limping. And listen, a hamstring does not get better as the game goes on, and you can't really tape that up like an ankle. Mm-hmm. Should have been pulled.
Yeah. Just a note, we want to welcome Sean and Donald and John, all watching on Facebook Live. Glad to have you with us today, guys. And Donald mentions what's the over-under for rainouts if the Rays play in a non-dome stadium.
Yeah, and that's going to be a situation anywhere. They're going to you have to deal with it, and whenever it gets rain, you'll make it up later on. That's just the way it's going to be with that.
And
nothing you can do.
Like you said, Paul, if the Rays would even split the cost, because then the Yankees could now have a bigger a preseason or training time, but the spring training is what I was trying to say. If they could have a bigger one. If they could get 5,000 seats and make it up to close to 16,000, I think that's about the number they're looking at.
That's probably about what they would need in order to.
And listen, it wouldn't be a couple of benches and tables brought out there. They'd be professionally installed.
And who knows, maybe this would make it more of a demand for tickets if there's only 15, 16,000 seats available. So
and again, whenever they play the Yankees, it'll be a home game for them.
Yeah. There you go. Other things going on. The Magic get a good win last night, beating the Brooklyn Nets by 15 on their home opener, the Magic's home opener, now 2-0, and blowing out the Miami Heat in the season opener back on Wednesday night. So a good start for the Magic at 2-0, and hopefully they can keep it rolling. They got the schedule maker against them tonight, having to play at Memphis after traveling overnight, and Memphis was off last night, and it's their home opener tonight. So a lot of things stacked against them, but we'll see if the Magic can pull it out. It's a good young team that really doesn't listen to we're not supposed to be this good, or we're supposed to be better than this.
You look at the fact that they were a playoff team last year. They came very close to winning the first round series. It went to 7 games. So the thing is, this year to progress, they want to go further in the playoffs. Not just making the playoffs, but at least get out of the first round. And who knows? Maybe you could go even further than that. But clearly, this is a team that's on the rise and continues to get better each and every season.
Absolutely. Lightning home tonight. They host the Washington Capitals, and Alex Ovechkin with the puck drop just after 7 o'clock at Amalie Arena. And then on Monday, the one that everybody's been talking about, Steven Stamkos leads the Nashville Predators. Boy, it still sounds weird to say Steven Stamkos leads the Nashville Predators to Amalie Arena. And has Nashville won a game yet? I don't know if they have. I know Steven Stamkos has 1 goal.
Yeah,
but
I'm sure that they have. I don't know. I have to look that up.
We'll check it out.
Off to a bad start.
Yeah, absolutely. And college football today, Jason. What's on the menu?
College football. A lot of big games they got. Starting at noon, Notre Dame versus Navy. Navy is undefeated, and Notre Dame has just 1 loss, so that's going to be a big one there. Later on, you've got 3:30, Alabama and Missouri. Alabama could be eliminated with the loss. They've lost 2 right now.
And it's only October.
Yep, that's right. And you've got later on, I know LSU, Texas A&M is a big one. You've got who is Oregon, the number 1 team in the country, is playing Illinois, a ranked Illinois team. So that's a big game. And the big rivalry in the Sunshine State, although I don't think it's going to be much of a game, Miami versus Florida State tonight in Miami. The Hurricanes are a 21-point favorite, 3 touchdowns. I think Florida State, with the way this season is going, they're getting ready to fire Mike Norvell and roll out the red carpet for Deion Sanders. That, to me, is what it's looking like.
Maybe Gene Deckerhoff knew what he was doing when he retired a couple of years ago from Florida State and just stayed with the Bucs. But we'll see what happens. I think that's a real possibility if they do make a change, that it could be Deion Sanders. And a sad note, we lost the head basketball coach for the USF Bulls, Amir Abdur-Rahim. And just shocking news, just tragic.
Devastating news, horrible. You don't ever want to hear something like this. I still can't believe it. When I read that, it's not supposed to happen this way. Young man, 43 years old, in the prime of life, but. It's life, the unpredictability of life, and you don't know. But from my understanding, he was just a wonderful human being. It made a big impact on so many lives. A great family man. And obviously his family being a basketball family, because his older brother Sharif Abdur-Rahim, long time player, Amir Abdur-Rahim in his first and only season in USF led them to their best season ever. I mean, our conference championship regular season, and the sky was the limit of where he could have he could lead this program. It's a shocking loss and a real tragedy. Gone too soon.
My understanding is he was having a medical procedure done, and there were complications with the medical procedure. Yeah. So very unfortunate, and certainly our hearts go out to the coach's family, to the USF program, the basketball program in particular, and friends and family of Sharif Abdur-Rahim. Amir Abdur-Rahim. Yeah. So anyway, we will move along with that. And let's go to the phone lines. We've got Bob holding on in Lutz before we hit our first break. Good morning, Bob. You're on the home team.
No, this is Donald.
Donald. Hey, Donald.
Okay. How you doing, Donald?
All right. When I heard Bob from Lutz, it's like, I think that's got to be me.
Nah, that's you. We got the city right anyway.
Yes. Why am I talking Boston? Okay, so anyway, that was a tough loss against the Ravens. I mean, not just the game, but losses of some players.
Right.
Yeah, it's certainly going to take its toll. And I did like what Todd Bowles said, is just, hey, next man up.
That's exactly what it is.
And Baker Mayfield as well.
They have talent. Jalen McMillan is a wide receiver, the rookie out of Washington. He's been quiet this year. It's time for him to step up. I think he's got a lot of potential. Trey Palmer, who's a rookie last year, he's a speedster, great speed, and their tight end Cade Otton is fantastic. He actually had a great game Monday night, caught a lot of balls. So he's, I think, very reliable. Sterling Shepard is a veteran wide receiver, has played in a lot of games. He's certainly capable. Just going to have to step it up.
I think you'll see more passing to the running backs too. Bucky Irving, Rashad
which
White,
works very well.
Coming out of the backfield.
Well, we got a three-headed monster with the running backs now, with Rashad White, Bucky Irving, and also Sean Tucker has emerged. So we've got three very capable backs. We can use them in running the ball, but and in the passing game as well. So I think that's going to be key as well.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, it should be a good game, but I still don't see the Bucks winning this. I don't know. I hope I'm wrong. I picked the Falcons to win.
27-24. We got.
Yeah. Usually when I do that, the Bucks win. So.
Well, let's hope that streak continues.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm hoping too. I'll give up some prizes to have the Bucks have a win. So, and thanks for the Chick-fil-A. I got that the other day.
You're welcome. I know you'll put it to good use.
Absolutely. I love their breakfast sandwiches. They're good.
All right. Very good.
So, I was able to get my fence built last Sunday.
Good.
Me and my son and my wife, Liz, we all did it together. It only took us 4 hours. So that was great.
Outstanding. Well, you said the guy from Home Depot put the product right back where the fence was going to go up, so that made it easier for you.
Oh, my God, he did. And then, of course, I tipped him very well. He showed me pictures of his house. He had 4 feet of water in his house and everything was destroyed. And it's like, now he's got to fight the insurance company, and it's like just horrible.
Yeah, it's been a mess. A lot of people have dealing with that. My stepmom and is lived with her daughter at my dad's house, and they had a lot of water in there too from Helene, having to deal with that. Other friends of ours who lived on Davis Island, same thing. It's rough for a lot of people right now.
I know,
sadly.
The Palm Pavilion is rebuilding.
Yeah.
They're hoping to be open by the first of the year, but they're doing a lot of work out there at the Palm Pavilion. I was watching the news, and there was a funny thing that came on, and it wasn't meant to be funny, but it really struck me funny. They were interviewing a guy, and he said, I went to bed the night of the hurricane, and I knew it was going to be a bad storm, and we lost power and everything. And then I woke up, and there was a fish swimming by me.
Wow. Yeah.
So he says, I knew we got a lot of water in the house because there was a fish swimming by me.
Yeah.
And the guy was totally serious, and you could see the reporter was trying to keep a straight face and not, break out laughing.
Every storm in the Bay Area, there's always something on TV that makes national. Like some of those counties that we have out east, there was one where the water was high. This guy climbed up on his mailbox and then dove into the water. on a tubie, and only in that area could that be normal.
Yeah. Just the image of waking up and seeing a fish swimming by, that would certainly make you wonder.
Well, the frogs were certainly out at our house. We could hear them nonstop.
Not swimming by your house.
Not swimming by, no, but I heard them all right. They were out singing.
The alligators.
They were kind of weather.
Alligators have no boundaries, right?
Oh no. It's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing it was a fish and not an alligator.
Yeah.
Guy's house. Yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, or a snake.
Or a snake. Yeah. Good point.
Well, Donald, we appreciate you checking in with us. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. You guys take care and stay safe out there, and hope all has a great week.
All right. Appreciate that.
Take care. Go Bucks.
We need to hit a break, and then we will come back with more of the home team. We're going to be talking with one of the newer members of the home team, Rinkside Sports, coming up at 9:45 today. We'll tell you what they are doing, and I'm glad that they are a part of the home team, and your phone calls as well. What are your thoughts on what the Rays should do as far as the stadium goes? No announcement from the Rays yet. When do you think they'll have to make some kind of an announcement,
I don't
Jason?
know.
A lot of work to be done.
There is, yeah.
Scheduling and all that.
Yeah. I mean,
the Rays schedule's already out.
Well, so in the next month, I'm guessing something like that.
Yeah.
Got to decide something soon.
Get your thoughts on that. We'll take a break, and then more of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to.
Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with two N's, development.com.
Folks, let me tell you about a gem of a restaurant in Carrollwood. It's Hank's Place, where you'll find some of the best barbecue, catfish, wings, sausage, gator, shrimp, and a whole lot more. Their meats are dry rubbed and slowly smoked. All of your favorite sides, too, from baked beans to collard greens to mac and cheese to onion rings. Are you hungry yet? Discover why Hank's Place at 8546 North Dale Maybury, just 100 yards north of Waters Avenue, is a place that locals have known about for years. Hey, would a guy like me lie to you about food? Hank's Place, a place to hang your hat and lick your fingers.
Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning and host of the Home Team Sports Radio Show. I'm here to tell you about our educational home team, Cambridge Christian School. No longer Tampa Bay's best-kept secret, CCS is the perfect blend of academic rigor and a biblical worldview foundation, serving families for over 60 years. Come see why we are the #1 rated Christian school in Tampa and visit us at ccslancers.com.
Looking for newer used golf clubs and balls? Stop by T&D Golf at 4205 West Waters Avenue, a half-mile west of Dale Mabry. Brand name clubs at discount prices. T&D has the best repair facility with the largest selection of grips in stock. Hundreds of sets of gently used clubs, a large selection of putters and wedges, and the best selection of quality used golf balls in Florida. Open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. T&D Golf at 4205 West Waters Avenue, a half-mile west of Dale Mabry.
If there's one thing I'm particular about, it's my pizza. ABC Pizza House at 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Great specials, too, like a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99 every Monday or Thursday, or 2 pizzas with 2 toppings every Tuesday for just $22.99. Spaghetti with 1 topping every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday for just $8.99. ABC Pizza House, 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue, 813-213-0929. Open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. abcpizzahouse.com.
The Florida State Fair is coming in February. But did you know The Florida State Fair is so much more than just a fairgrounds. Everything from hunting and fishing shows to trade shows and competitions to men's and women's conferences to concerts and so much more. Be sure and circle your calendars for February 6th through the 17th, 2025 for the 121st edition of the Florida State Fair at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. See you at the fair.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We really are glad to have the Florida State Fair as a partner here on the home team. And going on this weekend at the Florida State Fairgrounds, we have the Tampa Bay Auto Show. It rolls into the fairgrounds with the latest cars, trucks, crossovers, SUVs, EVs, custom vehicles, test drives, and more. Chance to check out the latest 2025 model vehicles in a non-selling environment. So that's going on this weekend at the Florida State Fair. Let's go to the phone lines again. We have the one and only Rubber Cement Man joining us. We haven't heard from him in a while.
That's right.
Hello, RCM.
I've been on Facebook.
I know you have, but I mean, you haven't called in.
It's talk radio. We want to talk to you.
Hey, who won last week's contest?
Lee was the winner last week. And again, our listeners didn't do a real good job as far as predicting, but he had Baltimore winning 34-28. And they actually won 41-31. He was 10 points off.
I had to pick a high-scoring game for that. A lot of points scored there.
Yeah. So
I was only 9 points off.
30. No, you were 13 points off.
No, I had it 33-30.
Yes, and it was 41-31. So
okay, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. 39, 40, 40.
You are correct.
I need a calculator.
Yeah, you are correct. I will be sending out a prize to you. Sorry about that. It was actually, you were 9 points off and Lee was 10 points off. So my math there, you are correct, RCM.
Because I was listening. Can you include at least an Irish 31, please?
Okay, I have to email that to you. And
that's all right.
The last time that I emailed you the baseball tickets, you didn't get them. So
I got, but you, because you didn't leave them in my thing long enough.
Okay, all right. Well, I will email it out to you.
Okay.
Okay. What else?
Or what? Oh, well, wait a minute. How about that new barbecue place you got? I haven't tried that.
Hanks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can send you a Hanks.
Okay, well, send me my prize package and include a Hanks in it. Then I'll take that one. I haven't been there yet. I'll try their food.
Whatever you say, we'll do that.
Thank you. And do I get to pick my number this week?
Yes.
Okay, I think Atlanta's going to win 40-29.
All
Another
right.
high-scoring game.
And how about a halftime score?
2020.
2020. All right. Donald has Atlanta winning 27-24 and a 10-10 halftime score. So,
all right.
All righty.
Anything else you want to talk about?
Well, I'm just wondering why they haven't figured out. Why don't they just start tearing the stadium down now and rebuild?
Yeah, that's what Big Ed suggested that a possibility. But I guess no matter when they start to rebuild, I guess they're thinking the new stadium still won't be till 2028.
Yeah, it's going to take.
It's going to take a little
to
time
build it anyway.
Well, where were they going to play when they were going to tear it down? They
were just going to stay. They were just going to stay put at the Trop because the new stadium's going to be right next door. So they were going to stay at the Trop until the new stadium's ready, and then tear the Trop down.
Kind of like they did with Raymond James Stadium.
Right, exactly.
Tampa Stadium.
Yeah, but the Hurricane had other ideas. So,
well, they ain't got no brains in St. Petersburg, do they?
Well, we'll find out. Yeah. They'll figure out something. That's for sure. All right. Thanks so much, Rubber Cement Man.
Oh, and I want to thank you for my Chick-fil-A you gave me.
You're being very well fed.
Oh,
that's
well,
right.
have you? Oh, you've seen me before. I'm pretty well fed anyway.
Yeah, well, that's true.
All
right.
Like you say, add to the corporation.
And as I drive Mahoney's, that place looks like there's hardly no Mahoney's left.
You're correct.
Like somebody tore it down.
It is closed. Yeah, it is closed. I don't know if you realize, but Elsie passed away.
I know that.
In September. But they kept it open for a while, and then the hurricane did some severe damage to it. So,
oh my God, that place was hit by an atomic weapon.
Yeah, that his widow decided to just close it. So it's unfortunate, but it was a legacy of Elsie's, but just not kind of like the Trop, not cost effective to rebuild that. So his widow has made the decision that they're just going to close it.
Oh, okay, because I know you still were advertising, so I was wondering if they were still open or what.
Yeah, no, we actually pulled the advertising as of today. The decision was just made this past week.
And when is Jason going to be in his new place?
That's going to be sometime next year. We don't know for sure. Depends on how the construction goes, but we'll get there eventually. Sometime next year, though.
Okay, and are you going to be open simultaneously both places, or one's going to close and the other's going to open? Or what?
Once we move into the new place, we'll be closed at the old location, but that won't be till everything's completely set and ready to go.
And you going to have any grand opening specials so the rubber man can come over there and stuff his gut?
No, I'm sure we're going to have a lot of opening specials. Hey, I'm sure it's going to be a big deal.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're going to do something.
All right, thank you so much, RCM. And there he goes. There goes the rubber cement man. We need to hit a break, and then we will come back with more of the home team. Phone lines are open up, 727-441-3000. They were busy earlier, but open now. Good time for you to get through. John in Clearwater has put his score in. He's got the Bucks winning 30-23.
Good. First one to pick the Bucks, I think.
Yeah, he is the first one to pick the Bucks. And halftime, he has it 14-10 Atlanta. So come from behind win for the Buccaneers coming up on Sunday, according to John in Clearwater. We'll take a break, and then more of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, FM 106.1, 102.3. AM 1340 and 1350 and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We regret to inform you that the Palm Pavilion on Clearwater Beach suffered extensive damage from Hurricanes Helene and Milton. The Palm Pavilion will remain closed until further notice. We are working daily to rebuild an even better Palm Pavilion, but it is going to take some time. Please know we will be reopening, and all gift certificates you may be holding do not expire, and they will be honored upon our reopening. We at the Palm Pavilion wish you all the best as you too rebuild from these two devastating storms. You can stay updated on our progress by visiting our website, palmpavilion.com. Once again, thank you for your understanding, and we look forward to serving you again with our delicious food and drinks and beautiful sunsets just as soon as we can rebuild this 99-year tradition. In the meantime, stay safe, and please keep us in your thoughts and prayers as we will do the same for you. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Magic, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. This is Paul Porter. For the past 12 years, we've not endorsed an air conditioning company on the home team. Until now, I'm happy to tell you about the family-owned and operated air conditioning company, Action Air Conditioning. David Russell and his family run their business with 3 principles in mind: honesty, integrity, and reliability. They've been in business since 1988. They service the entire home team listing area. From service to AC checkups to a whole new system, Action Air Conditioning is the AC company for you. Why do I speak so highly of Action Air Conditioning? I've used them many times at multiple properties, and I've been completely satisfied every time. Visit them on the web at actionairconditioning.com. That's actionairconditioning.com. Or you can call them at 813-935-6644. If you're in need of an air conditioning company, take it from me. Action Air is your company. 813-935-6644. 813-935-6644. actionairconditioning.com. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning, Magic, and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. Did you know that Cambridge Christian School Athletic Department was honored with the Kerry McDonald Award as the 2A Athletic Program of the Year for the second consecutive year? The CCS Lancers have had 71 district championships, 21 regional championships, 5 state championships, and 37 Final Four teams. Over 200 of our student athletes have signed to play at the college level, and one has joined an NFL team. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. Your number one home team fans, Auto Owners Insurance and Vermost Insurance Agency is a winning combination. We'll work with you to ensure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, and secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit the Vermost Insurance Agency in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com. That's vermost.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team. Glad to have you with us. And we have one of the newer members of the home team joining us right now. Ricky from out at Rinkside Sports with, of course, 2 locations in Brandon and in Wesley Chapel. In Brandon at the TGH Iceplex and Advent Health Center Ice out in Wesley Chapel. Ricky, welcome to the home team.
Yeah, thank you so much. This is a fun experience, so I appreciate the opportunity.
Well, we're glad to have you on. And Rinkside Sports, we're getting into the holiday season. Halloween is next week, and then we'll be looking at Thanksgiving and then, of course, the mad shopping for Christmas and New Year's and all that. And if somebody has a hockey player or a hockey fan on their list, Rinkside Sports, you can really take care of them. You've got just about everything there for the hockey player or the hockey fan.
We have anything that a hockey player or figure skater, might I add, would need at either location. The other thing is to make it a little more convenient, we do have a website, so it's ringsidesports.com. But I really like to come into the store because I feel like when you need something, it's more of you want to touch things, you want to feel how it is on your body so that you can get properly fitted. So I would recommend coming into one of the locations, but if you can't and you still need to get a gift for someone, you could do ringsidesports.com.
And you also have a full supply of Lightning jerseys there as well, right?
We do. We stock the home team, the only team we do stock in the stores. And you can get hats, jerseys, shirts, anything that you're looking for. And if we don't have it, we try our best to make sure we can get it for you.
I like how you say you stocked the home team.
Big time. I love that.
Yes,
That, of course, is the name of our program, the home team.
yes.
Tell us a little bit about the history of the Rinkside Sports. I know you've got 2 locations in Brandon and also in Wesley Chapel. And tell us a little bit about your owner and how it all got going.
Well, Rinkside Sports has been around for about 25 years. I have been fortunate enough. I'm going into my 19th year. So this coming summer will be 19 years with Alan, who actually owns the shops. And when I first started, we had 3 employees. We were all part-timers except for Alan, and it's grown every year since for the last 25 years. And it's just been a blessing for 2 reasons. One is I never thought I'd be a part of a thriving business and have that experience, and that's been a really cool opportunity. But the best opportunity has been to see the community grow in this area with hockey and how large it's gotten and how much fun it is for the children. And I don't want to leave out the adults because there's adult leagues. So even if you are in your 60s, they have leagues over 50 leagues. And if you feel like you could try it or wanted to try it, you can come in, you can get outfitted, and you go right onto the ice. So it's been an awesome experience to watch the community grow over the years. That's been the best part of everything.
All right. Well, we appreciate having you partnering with us here on the home team. Tell us about your hours and where people can get more information, the website and all that good stuff.
So the website is ringsidesports.com. That's if you want to buy something, it's got all our contact. If you want to follow us on social media, we do Instagram. So IG, our handle is Ringside Sports. And we have 2 locations, like you mentioned, in Brandon as well as Wesley Chapel, or you could just order online. Hours for the stores we're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 12 to 9, and 9 to 9 on the weekends. So we're pretty convenient and make it convenient for people to come in. And I will tell you before we get out of here, the best thing about Ringside Sports is this service that we guarantee that you'll feel the shopping experience, which I think has gone out of the window for a lot of industries because people just shop online. But if you come into the store, you'll feel that old school shopping feel and experience and have a nice time spending your money because you do work hard for it. So when you want to spend it, you want to make sure you spend it and feel like you're treated properly, and we guarantee that.
Very well said. Ricky, we also have a contest going on where we're asking you to give us the final score of tomorrow's Bucks Atlanta Falcon game. We'll get you into the contest.
I'm going to say 17-13. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game.
In favor of who?
I'm going to say the Falcons. I know it's not the home team, but I do think I'll take Cousins over Mayfield.
All right. And then for a halftime score, we use that for a tiebreaker. So what do you see the score at halftime?
At halftime, I think it's going to be super low, 6-3.
6-3, favor of Atlanta?
No, I think the Bucks will be up at halftime, and then Atlanta will come back, because that's usually how Cousins operates.
Okay, all right. Well, we appreciate it, Ricky. Thanks so much, and thanks for being part of the home team. And please be sure and pass our thanks along to Alan.
100%. If you guys ever have a question or need something, you holler at us, and we'll make sure we take care of it.
All right. And by the way, you donated a jersey for our silent auction for Reach Out, Speak Out, and that was sold. So we appreciate your donation for our silent auction, Reach Out, Speak Out, Purple Passion.
100%. Keep the community strong, and that's what we represent, and we'll make sure we all grow together.
All right. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Ricky. We appreciate it. If you want to join us on the phone lines, I believe we have wide open phone lines right now, right, Ed? We do. 727-441-3000. It doesn't happen very often, but they are open right now. 727-441-3000. Jason, talking a little bit more about the World Series. Very fun to watch. Like we said, 2 storied franchises playing, and just all the flashbacks. You know, it seems like they played each other more often, but it was since 1981 that they
they talked about 1981. I think another one they showed was maybe 1963. Might have been, or sometime in the 60s, but they don't play as they might have played too when the Dodgers were still in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. In the 50s. But again, you look at the obviously the 2 big markets for all the great players that have played through the years.
Yeah, and to just, not only great players, great broadcasters.
Yeah.
You had Vin Scully for so many years with the Dodgers.
That's right.
John Sterling with the Yankees for so many years. And John Sterling actually, for medical reasons, retired. I think it was back in June. And then he came back, and he's back now. I don't know if he's just back for this season.
Right.
Maybe he wanted to see one more championship for the Yankees, and that's why he came back, or if he's made a full recovery. But he is back doing the radio for the New York Yankees. And go ahead.
It is. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I tend to go for the underdog, the teams you don't see as often. So I know I was going I wasn't going for the Yankees and Dodgers, but now that this is it's a big deal. It's exciting.
Sure.
And I think this season, these were the two best teams throughout the course of the regular season. Last year, that was not the case. You had the Rangers and Diamondbacks, two wild card teams in the World Series. Here, you've got the best of the best, and they happen to be some of the two biggest names and biggest markets.
The DJ Bolt is picking Atlanta to win 24-20 and a 14-14 halftime score.
That doesn't sound too good
no,
right now.
No,
at least
doesn't
like
at all.
The picks, but
and Jason, you were asking earlier if John Bychek was able to secure tickets for the World Series.
I'm just wondering. He's
going to tell us.
Okay,
he's
good.
on the phone line.
And I know he always tries. He's an event guy. And it doesn't get any bigger than this.
John, how you doing today?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
I am actually still working on it.
Okay.
I
was not able to get them yet. There's a possibility I'll go to Game 5. I don't have a dog in the hunt, but it's the best of the best that Jason just said. I mean, both teams, this is classic. And then if anybody missed it last night, probably one of the greatest World Series games in history.
Oh, unbelievable. Yeah. An historic finish for the way it happened. First ever Grand Slam walk-off.
And, prior to that, with the error on Torres, when he lost the relay, and then the fan reaching over the wall and catching the ball. There were some strange things happening prior to that great climax.
Alex Verdugo for the Yankees made an incredible catch, a running catch where he caught the ball and flipped over the stands. I think Derek Jeter did that years ago, but he held on to the ball for an out. And it looked like the Yankees were going to pull it out, but it's not over till it's over. Dodgers able to get some guys on base. I know they walked Mookie Betts to set it up for Freeman, and boom, first pitch he sees, out of there.
John, I know that you are a huge Rays fan, and you're a partial season ticket holder to the Rays. What do you think, and what are you hearing could happen as far as their new home?
Well, the rumors have been flying all over the place about where they might play. Some of them, Omaha. I heard a crazy rumor they might play in Oakland. But I think MLB wants them in the area to maintain as much of a fan base as they can. I think it's going to be Orlando, Steinbrenner Field, or Port Charlotte. The Phillies spring training or minor league stadium's a nice stadium. They should sell out one of these minor league or secondary stadiums, spring training stadiums, each game. I mean, there's only 10 to 12,000 seats in those places. So I think they're going to do the best they can to keep them here. Whatever they can do, it's not worth putting the money in. A lot of the problem's not just the roof and debris; it's that there's no flooding system in place, drainage system in place for the flooding. They took an enormous amount of rain.
Would Major League Baseball require them to put additional seats in one of the minor league ballparks?
I guess space is an issue. I mean, what do you do? Stack them up on a grandstand and put more seats in? I guess space is an issue. When you build these things, you build them for a number of places, a number of seats, and then it's hard to add on. I guess they could probably add some suites on. I heard in the new stadium they're going to have less premium suites, but more premium seating. So a lot of times it was hard for the corporation to buy seats down here. So I don't know if they've got a few major sponsors that would help out with that or not. But we know how frugal the organization is and how much they're willing to put into these things. And I don't know if it would be help from the other teams as well. But our attendance was averaging, 14,000, 15,000 a game anyway. So that's probably a good number for one of these smaller stadiums anyway.
John, we only got about a minute left, but when do you see some sort of announcement coming as to what the choice is going to be?
I think it's probably got to be by the end of November or at least the end of the year, because they've got to start getting travel set up. That's going to be the big deal. And even if they try to play here in Al Lang Field, that would probably be the easiest place to do it. But they've got to make a decision pretty quick to get started on the planning for scheduling next season. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the schedule's already out for Major League Baseball. And if they have to start changing dates and changing home dates and all that, that could be a real nightmare, because then you got to involve all the other teams as well. So there's a lot to get done.
One last comment. I was at the game the other night, the Monday Night Football game, and I know you guys have probably talked about whether Godwin should have been in the game or not, with a less than 1% chance of winning the game. I think you give Trask some reps. You give some of these young kids some reps. They scored 34 straight points on us. He didn't need to be in there. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you, John. Appreciate that. We invite you to stay with us for hour number 2 of the home team coming your way right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
WTAN, Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF, Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Christopher Cruz. Israel attacked Iranian military sites early this morning in retaliation for Iran's firing of 200 ballistic missiles at Israel earlier this month. This is what it sounded like in Tehran as the attack was taking place. From Tel Aviv, CBS's Rami Inocencio reports Israel is prepared for any response from Iran.
The U.S. has supplied a THAAD missile defense system here to Israel in the past week or so that is now up and running, and that had been put there in place in anticipation of any potential retaliation from Iran.
IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari.
We conducted targeted and precise strikes on military targets in Iran, thwarting immediate threats to the state of Israel.
Israel says its fighter jets hit missile manufacturing facilities. Hackers linked to the Chinese government have targeted cell phones used by former President Donald Trump and his running mate, Senator J.D. Vance. CBS News has learned the hackers also targeted the phones or networks used by members of Vice President Kamala Harris's presidential campaign. More from CBS's Scott McFarland.
It's suspected the Chinese criminals were targeting both parties, a potential case of espionage, not election interference. The FBI confirmed late Friday it's investigating unauthorized access to telecommunications infrastructure in the U.S., and people who are potentially targeted are now being notified.
Singer Beyonce headed a star-studded array of endorsers of Vice President Kamala Harris at a huge rally in Houston.
It's time for America to sing a new song. Our voices sing a chorus of unity. They sing a song of dignity and opportunity. Are y'all ready to add your voice to the new American song? Because I am. So let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big, loud Texas welcome to the next President of the United States, Vice President Kamala Harris.
The Los Angeles Dodgers won Game 1 of the World Series against the New York Yankees 6-3, thanks to first baseman Freddie Freeman's walk-off grand slam in the 10th inning. It's the first time in World Series history that a game was won with a grand slam. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts.
I mean, it's arguably, might be the greatest baseball moment I've ever witnessed.
Game 2 tonight at Dodger Stadium. A new poll finds the majority of those asked want New York City Mayor Eric Adams to resign. The New York Times Siena College poll of New York City voters also finds that a majority believe that Adams did break the law. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your family, your phone, and your furry friends with life, electronic device, and pet health insurance.
Caregivers find the support they need on Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver. Heard every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m., Linda and her caring and knowledgeable guests will bring you education, information, and resources, as well as a shoulder for caregivers. That's Connecting Caregivers Radio with Linda Burhans, the gal who cares for the caregiver, where you can find help and hope every Friday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Ain't it good? Hello, this is the one and only Robbie the Shark. I want to welcome you to the new program, All Groovy, man. I just want a bunch of folks in front of my porch. Let's have a Coca-Cola, a sweet tea, or whatever your drink of flavor is, and let's just talk about life and how far we've come on the only 1340 WTAN Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's All Groovy with Robbie the Shark, Thursdays from 8 to 9 p.m. Listen at your own risk.
This is the radio program Spectrum 360. This is Mark Skogman
and TK Weeks,
host of Spectrum 360 on the 6 stations of the Tan Talk Radio Network. Spectrum 360 is a talk radio program that features politics, the arts, and popular culture from a progressive point of view. Spectrum 360 broadcasts for 1 hour weekly on Monday nights at 11 p.m. Eastern Time and anytime via webcast at Spectrum360media.com. Remember, Spectrum 360, news, politics, and arts from a creative and progressive point of view.
Calling all radio enthusiasts with storm claims and legal questions. Join us every Saturday at 2 p.m. on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340 for Legal Candy with attorney Candace Colucci. She's your guide to hurricane-related issues, property insurance law, and more sizzling legal topics. Get ready for a lively legal experience. Make your Saturday sweet with Legal Candy on WTAN FM 106.1 and AM 1340.
Listen to the latest pet trends with benefits on the Pet Buzz every Saturday morning. Join pet trendologist Charlotte Reed and veterinarian Dr. Michael Fleck as they talk all things pets. From animal health and wellness, money-saving tips, celebrity gossip, breaking news, and more. Their expert guests are in the know and in the now. To learn more about this unique program and its hosts, tune into the show on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Pet Buzz, Saturday mornings, 8 to 9 a.m.
Tune in to the Shrink and Wrap Show here on Tan Talk Radio. Our stories and our topics will include, but are not limited to, everyday issues. We're here for you, for our listeners. We want to know what's important to you. So again, don't miss us on Tan Talk Radio. Tune in again, Shrink and Wrap Show. We'll see you then.
That's the Shrink and Wrap Show every Thursday from 3 to 4 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
When the Super Bowl ended, the ball would be in the hands of Tom Brady. I don't know why we ever think it won't.
It's time for the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network. The home team is brought to you in part by Cambridge Christian School, a Christian education that's affordable and well-respected. By FAS Windows and Doors, with stores in Tampa and Orlando. By Action Air Conditioning, family-owned and operated, serving the entire Tampa Bay area. And now, here he is, the arena voice of the Tampa Bay Lightning and Orlando Magic, and the press box voice of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Paul Porter.
Thank you, Brother Pat, and welcome to hour number 2 of the home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Good to have Big Ed in with us today.
Absolutely.
He steps in and fills in from time to time, and Matt occasionally is not here, and he's running the board for us, and we know that everything will be done correctly. Not that it's not done correctly other weeks, but Ed is very efficient at what he does. And want to get to something that Ed brought up in just a bit. But before we do that, want to find out about Alessi Bakery. What's going on this week at Alessi Bakery? What do we need to know?
We always have some delicious specials going on. Buy one, get one free. This week, specials, which will include today and tomorrow, are our tiramisu squares, our chocolate devil's food cake, and also our coconut macaroons. All buy one, get one free. And then starting on Monday, this Monday, which will run through the next Sunday. We also will have coconut macaroons once again, buy one, get one free. We'll have the pumpkin masu cake squares and the caramel masu cake squares. Basically, they're like tiramisu, but with the other flavors. Instead of the coffee, you have the pumpkin one and the caramel one.
This is the season for pumpkins.
This is the season, absolutely. So we're going to a lot of pumpkin stuff. We have like a sweetbread, pumpkin chocolate chip sweetbread, which we sell along like the banana nut bread and zucchini and strawberry breads, all very good. So those are our specials. We also have a variety of cookies, cakes, cupcakes, guava turnovers, apple turnovers, eclairs, cannolis, Napoleons, cream horns. We have a wonderful deli with sandwiches such as Cuban sandwiches, turkey clubs, king clubs, Italian subs, Philly cheesesteaks, burgers, Reubens, and hot entrees, chicken and yellow rice, roast pork, and picadillo.
It's all good. All good.
And our famous scotchata pizza, our cold meat pizza, is still our best-selling item after all these years. Our scotchata, do it in different size boxes, a 40-piece, a 20-piece, and the snack pack, which is the 10-piece.
Well, you saw last week on the anniversary show how many people chose as their gift the gift card from Alessi Bakery.
Made me so happy, and I brought in a bunch of new gift certificates
I
to
needed
update
them.
that.
Needed them. We are almost depleted,
That's
but
right.
now we're back in stock again. So we appreciate that. Tell us the location, the hours, in case that one person hasn't been there.
Yeah, our address is 2909 West Cypress Street. We're in between the cross streets MacDill and Armenia, and we're open 7 days a week. Monday through Friday, we're open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. And Sundays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m.
All right, very good. Alessi Bakery, right there between MacDill and Armenia on Cypress Street, and I'm sure you're looking forward to being in your new facility next year.
Yes, we're excited about that. It's going to be just a couple blocks down the road to the old Tampa Letter Carriers building. In the process of remodeling it, it's just taking a little time between permitting. The storm set things back a little bit, but we're going to start working on that real soon. And the hope is next year, the earlier part of next year, at some point, we'll be moved in there. It's going to be a much bigger building, a lot more stations set up. There's going to be even like a wine liquor bar, a rotisserie chicken section, a specialty gourmet pizza section. So all that we have now and even more.
Crunch Puffs.
Crunch Puffs. We'll get back to that later.
Later. It's always later.
We'll get that. Yeah, we'll sell a dressing.
You'll thank me, Jason, if you ever.
No, I know the crunch.
That
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Time to do that. That would be. Who knows?
And for somebody out there saying, "What the heck's a crunch pup?" A crunch pup is a hot dog, but it has the same kind of covering that the chicken nuggets do at McDonald's.
And the place you mentioned, Arthur Treacher's. Was the one
they're the ones that started it.
Right.
And there's only a few Arthur Treacher's in Northern Ohio left, but the Crunch Pups are my favorite item on the menu.
And we're watching game day here live from Indiana. Of course, Indiana Hoosiers are undefeated. Got a big game today against Washington, but there were some of the people there dressed up in hot dog suits with a hot dog looking gun, and they were shooting what I believe to be actual hot dogs into the people in the stands. Which is a unique idea. Instead of the shirts that they shoot a lot of the games, they have and of course the hot dogs wrapped up. You hope they don't come unwrapped as they're shooting those. That
wouldn't be good.
No,
especially if they got mustard on them and all that.
Yeah, which I'm sure they don't, but that's what they were doing. Kind of an ingenious idea.
I hope someone was handing out buns.
Yeah.
I remember during the Lightning's first year at the state fairgrounds, and of course they were just trying to figure things out.
It was an experiment.
It definitely was. It was an experiment. And one of the things they did was they had these guns that they used similar to what they had at Indiana there. But Subway was a big sponsor of theirs, and they had Subway sandwiches, like the 6-inch sandwiches, rolled up real tight so that it wouldn't unwrap as it was shooting out. And what happened was the one guy was shooting it, and his trajectory was way off, and he shot it at a guy that was probably as close as me to you, and just about knocked the guy out. I mean, He took it right in the dome. You wouldn't think getting hit with a sub sandwich would be that bad. But
hazardous to your health, I guess.
If they wrap it real tight and it's on a hard roll, you could feel it.
Yeah.
So I mean, the guy was almost down for the count, being knocked out. I can just see him going to the hospital.
Wow.
What happened to you? I got hit with a flying
sandwich. One of the funniest stories I ever heard. I think you said it, or maybe someone else told you or something. But I guess Terry Crisp, the coach at the time, was absolutely laying into his team at one of the intermissions. And I guess the way the stadium was set up, the locker room, I mean, it was kind of open to the access. Well, some guy with his kid walked in, opened the door. Oh, is this the bathroom?
Yeah.
And I guess Chris, he says, slammed the door and started berating his team again. Only in a place like that could you have you accidentally walk in on the coach trying to fire up his team.
And with all the talk we've had about the Rays going to a smaller stadium for the next 3 years, it kind of reminds me that where the Lightning had a very humble beginning there at the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
I think it only sat about 8,000 or 9,000 people.
That's right.
And but they have certainly grown since then. Ed, you were looking at something, a picture of an aerial view of Steinbrenner Field. And
we went on to Google Earth and took a look at the field itself. And if you go on to Google Earth and check it out for yourself, there's the outfield in Legend Field is undeveloped, basically.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like there's some boxes. You've got the scoreboard.
This is in center field and a little bit
to
of left
me,
center.
because I'm not an architect, but to me, it looks like it could be doable to fit some 5,000 seats in there.
Yeah. Maybe do a high-rise bleacher type thing behind the scoreboard.
It would be semi-permanent, I'm sure, because then the Yankees could use it after the Rays are gone for their spring, because they have very good spring training turnouts.
Sure.
Yeah.
So...
Well, actually, the Yankees could use it this spring training.
Sure.
Because they'd have to have it done by March, I would think.
Right.
So they could use it because they play a lot of night games in spring training, the Yankees do, and they've sold out games. So I'm sure they
there's a lot of things you got to do. You got to lay concrete. Bathrooms will have to be added and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And, whatever, but there's a lot of underlying stuff that has to be done. But I certainly think at least it looks doable.
Yeah. So that's definitely a possibility. And we've said before, geographically, it's really the best choice. It's right in the heart of Tampa Bay.
That's exactly right.
As far as Pinellas and Clearwater and St. Petersburg and Tampa are all concerned. It's right in the middle and accessible via interstate, just right up Dale Mabry.
Yeah.
Of course, everybody knows where Raymond James Stadium is, so that could definitely be the way.
Of all the choices, I think that's the best one. That just sounds like the best to me. If they can make it work there, I think that would be great under the circumstances.
We've got some more scores in from people on Facebook Live, and John Bychek listed his score as well. He's got the Bucks winning 30 to 24 and leading 17-10 at halftime. Mike on Facebook Live has the Bucks winning 31-17 and leading 14-10 at halftime. And DJ Bolt has the Falcons winning 24-20 and a 14-14 halftime score.
This looks like a kind of a typical NFC South, which we've seen the last couple of years, where you really don't have any dominant teams. And I think certainly it is with the Saints collapse after they got off to a good start the first 2 years, but injuries have really decimated New Orleans. It is a two-team race between the Bucs and the Falcons, the way it looks right now. And both teams have been up and down thus far. I mean, Atlanta looked like they might be moving in the right direction. And last week they got blown out by Seattle.
Yeah.
So again, I still think the Bucs are the best team in that division. They got to win this game, though.
Evans and Godwin.
Yes, even without, I think overall they are still the best team. They're still the best team. They have look at their top win. It was over Detroit on the road. Detroit might be the best team in the league, and the Bucs beat them in Detroit. So I think this is a monster game, especially the fact that the Bucs lost the first game to Atlanta. You've got to win this game.
Very important game. 1 o'clock kickoff tomorrow at Raymond James Stadium. We need to hit a break, and then we will come back with more of the home team. Join us on the phone line, 727-441-3000, 727-441-3000. More of the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Rinkside Sports is your headquarters for all things hockey. From skates to pads and gloves to jerseys to socks. Anything you need to make your hockey experience a winning one. You'll find all the same brands the pros use, like Bauer and CCM. Rinkside Sports has 2 locations to serve you, inside Advent Health Center Ice in Wesley Chapel and inside the TGH Sportsplex in Brandon. Rinkside Sports. If it's hockey, it's Rinkside Sports.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning, Magic, and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee owned and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. If there's one thing I'm particular about, it's my pizza. ABC Pizza House at 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Great specials, too, like a large one-topping pizza for just $11.99 every Monday or Thursday, or 2 pizzas with 2 toppings every Tuesday for just $22.99. Spaghetti with 1 topping every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday for just $8.99. ABC Pizza House, 1242 West Hillsborough Avenue, 813-213-0929. Open every day, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. abcpizzahouse.com. Grace Family Church with now 8 locations to serve you. Just how big is Grace Family Church? Here's Executive Pastor Chris Bonham.
On a typical Sunday will be about 13,500 people. And then we have an online crowd that watches as well. That's dispersed all throughout our campuses and throughout people watching all over the world.
It seems like a big church, but it does feel small. I don't want a big church, but so the numbers are big, but there's a lot of opportunity for belonging and intimacy in the church.
Yeah, that's one of our values. We definitely want to make a big church small. So if someone's like, oh, I can't go, it's too big, we would really encourage you to check it out, because we do a lot of intentional things to take the large crowd and move it into a smaller, more manageable relationship.
For more information about all 8 campuses at Grace Family Church, visit gfcflorida.com. That's gfcflorida.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team, and we are glad to have you with us as we continue along, and we want to go out to our good friends out at T&D Golf. They had to board things up during the hurricanes, as many people did, but they are open for business now, and boy, ever since the hurricanes, Jason, the weather has been absolutely gorgeous.
It has been, yeah. It tends to happen after the big storms.
Mm-hmm.
You do get nice weather, and it is. Just wish the weather would stay like this for a while.
Yeah, we've had over a week of just beautiful weather since the hurricanes have gone through. And Ben, I know that means good things for golf courses and golfers, and I'm sure you're happy about that.
The perfect weather for that. Right, this is why we live here, Paul. From now until about May, is for golf. And most of the courses are slowly opening back up. The first week, most of them were just shut down. There were so many trees that fell, and we had 18 inches of rain. But I heard this week, there's several courses that have opened back up, and the people are coming back out and they're playing, so it's great. I mean, again, this is the kind of weather you want to play. 60 degrees in the morning, low humidity, 80, 82 in the afternoon, sunny, partly cloudy, a little bit of a breeze. I mean, this is Chamber of Commerce weather.
It certainly is. It certainly is. And Ben, I know you had to close for a little bit with the hurricanes and you boarded things up, but you're back open again, and people are coming back to T&D Golf. I was in there last week, and really good to see everything there and back and going again.
Yes, everything. Yeah, it was tough. We did get a little bit of damage in the back of the store. We boarded everything up. That's only the second time I've ever boarded up my store, and the other one was with Charlie was heading this way back in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
But but it was definitely a scary time. But yes, we are open. We're ready to rock and roll. We're completely loaded with product, and we've got the same thing we've always done, Paul. We talk about it all the time, is being able to help golfers play this crazy game and not have to spend so much money. All the big guns, all the big manufacturers continue to raise their prices, and some people just don't want to spend that much money. But the whole idea is you can come into my place and I'll get you whatever you need in the budget you want to get into. And it's really important because you can play nowadays. There's also some discount cards out there to help you save some money, like the Paradise card. It's got a good deal right now. I can tell customers about that when they come in. But there's a way to save money this time of year, and there's always a way to save money with me, being able to get you used good equipment or new equipment on a discount, good used balls, new balls. So I want to be able to help people play golf, spend time out there, and save money doing it.
Outstanding. And of course, with all the expenses, people trying to recover from the hurricanes and fixing up their houses and the cars and all of that, saving money is really important now more than ever. Ben, give us your location and how people can get to you.
Sure. We're at T&D Golf, 4205 West Waters Avenue in Tampa. And that's basically Waters and Del Mabry. We're a half mile west of Del Mabry on Waters. I tell everybody we're about 10 minutes northwest of Tampa Stadium and about 10 minutes northeast of Tampa Airport. All you have to do is just Google T&D Golf Tampa, and you'll see my ugly face on there and all the directions and everything. And you can come on by. We're open every day, 9 to 6, except Sundays. We're all closed on Sundays.
I don't think I've ever seen your face without a smile on it.
That's what I'm just saying. Now, don't be that hard on yourself, man. That's not true at all.
You've always got a smile on
I'm not as good looking as you guys.
Especially when you're around a Chick-fil-A sandwich. That's when you're really smiling.
Very, very, very good.
There you go. All right, Ben. Thank you so much, and thanks for your longtime support of the home team.
You guys are great, Paul. You guys enjoy the weather. Enjoy the weekend.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
As well. Take care.
There you go. Let's go to Anthony next, if we can, before we hit another break. Hello, Anthony. You're on the home team.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning.
And by the way, thanks for the gift certificate and the passes to Astro Skates. Well, those Astro Skate tickets might have to have a non-expiration date, because it's going to be forever until I can get on skates.
Well, they do. They do have a non-expiration date, and actually, thanks to our good friend John in Clearwater for providing those. He is associated with Astro Skate, and we had a fun time with the skating party.
Oh, we're having a great time, yes.
I might compete with Jason as far as being able to balance myself on those things.
I didn't even try. I watched. I looked at Paul. My mom was there, and she was even considering getting on there. But we took a look at Paul out there. We said, "No thanks, we're good right here."
I almost took out one of their displays.
You didn't fall by means,
No.
but I saw you. But yeah, you were coming off a little bit, and like you said, ran into. You didn't run into a person, but yeah, the side
I'm
there.
glad that display was anchored down pretty well.
Yeah.
I would hate to take that out, but yeah, that's actually the case.
Quick note: I missed the days when you would have either the pipe organist or just classic rock being pumped out in the arenas. Boy, do I miss those days. Anyways, let me get to the Lightning. I think there's still a ways off where these guys can pretty much conform to Cooper's game plan, because they lost horribly to those stinking Leafs. They walloped the Jersey Devils, and then they kind of folded against. Well, I wouldn't say they folded, but there just wasn't much aggressiveness on the ice. Maybe some of the young guys need to get a little bit of clues from some of the tough guys on our team. So there was really not that much aggression on the ice on Thursday. And I'm hoping that against the Capitals, they're going to need to show some fierceness, because Ovechkin's going to be a monster on the ice. So they need to pick it up.
It's still early, and I think the team, they're still finding themselves a little bit. Some new faces. They are 4-3. Not a bad record to have here early on. But I think they
middle of the pack.
Yeah.
But, one thing I heard Bobby the Chief Taylor mention, and he's very astute at making observations. The goal scorers for the opposition, at least of late, have been wide open. Like nobody around them, no defenseman near them, not making them work. The other team is finding an open man, and he is all by himself, and lets go a shot, and Vasilevsky obviously can't get to the other side of the net quick enough to stop it. So that's something I'm sure they're aware of. John Cooper's a very good coach, and he will figure it out. And I saw something Thursday night that I hadn't seen, I don't think, in a year or so. The Lightning made a challenge, and Nigel Kerwin is usually right there when it comes to video replays, and he tells them when to challenge and when not to. He said to go ahead and challenge a call for offside, and it was ruled that they were not offside, the visiting team, and they got the goal counted. So that doesn't happen very often, but Nigel actually missed one on that.
Yeah, but I still think that's a rule I would like to see taken away. I don't like that at all, that you can reverse it after this action has been taking place in the zone and a goal is scored, and then you go back and say, well, initially they were offside, when most of the time it had nothing to do with the goal being scored. I think that's a bad rule.
Yeah.
I know the fans are pretty they're pretty fierce upon the officiating, but I can tell you sometimes those calls can be subjective. It's so close to call that it can sway either way, and it's just, to me, it's just kind of suspect. But I'm waiting for October 28th. That's going to be a special night, so it's going to be kind of emotional, but it's going to be and then I was kind of puzzled as to how Marshall called Stamkos a one-dimensional player. I'm kind of surprised at that.
Well, maybe he'll call in and tell us. He's often
I'd like
listening.
to see an explanation of what aspect of his game. I mean, he was slowing down somewhat toward the tail end of before he was released, but one-dimensional. I mean, come on. I mean, he's up there with Crosby and Ovechkin and guys like that. It's just puzzling. I'd like to see an explanation. But anyways, go Lightning, and let's take care of business.
Give us your score for the Bucks game tomorrow.
I'm going to go 2017. They're going to have to pull every guy on the field to put up their effort. And let's do it for Evans and for Godwin for sure.
All right.
And for the coach.
And a halftime
12-7.
12-7. All right. Got you down. Anthony, and again, thank you for your support of Reach Out, Speak Out. We received another donation from you, and we really appreciate that.
Well, the ladies there are doing a fantastic job, so kudos to them, and for sure, everything's a worthwhile for the ministry. So, yeah.
All right, very good.
Thanks, guys.
We're going to be able to talk to Baseball Al and see what he thought of last night's sudden ending to the World Series Game 1. He's coming up right after the break. So hang in there, Al. We'll be right with you. More of the home team on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
When you talk about ice rink development in West Central Florida, one name stands alone: Iceman Development, LLC. Gordy Zimmerman, president and founder of Iceman Development, has played an integral part in the construction of the Ice Sports Forum in Brandon, the training home of the three-time Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning, and the Advent Health Center Ice Complex, a multi-million-dollar facility boasting 150,000 square feet, and ranked the top indoor ice rink facility by both the USA Today and Yelp. Iceman Development is currently involved in creating yet another outstanding ice rink facility in Trinity and Pasco County. Iceman's company mission is to build community projects that impact the area both in quality of life and economic growth. For more information, visit icemandevelopment.com. That's Iceman with 2 N's, development.com. Much like the weather, your life could change at the drop of a hat. Don't be caught unprepared. You don't know what will happen tomorrow, but no matter what happens to you, you can make sure your loved ones are provided for with a life insurance policy from Auto Owners Insurance. Meet with a local independent agent and secure a policy now to rest easy knowing you're protecting the ones you love. Visit Vermost Insurance in Tampa Bay today at vermost.com.
Life Builders Christian Counseling Center brings hurting people to wholeness in Christ. Life Builders is a professional counseling center with multiple counselors and locations in Brandon and Tampa. They offer in-person, Zoom, and group sessions, counseling individuals, married couples, children and adolescents, and families. Some of our licensed counselors take most insurances. Call 813-438-5949 or visit lifebuilderscounseling.org. Life Builders can help. 813-438-5949 and at lifebuilderscounseling.org.
This is Paul Porter. You know, with the schedule I keep working for the Lightning, Magic, and Buccaneers, a good night's sleep is a must for me. That's why I'm happy to tell you about the Original Mattress Factory. Their mattresses are hand-built right here in Tampa Bay with the highest quality at a very reasonable price. They aren't like these other mattress companies that'll jack their prices up every holiday and then do a so-called super discount during their so-called sale. You actually end up paying more than what the mattress is worth. The secret is, with OMF, you're getting factory direct pricing and eliminating the middleman retailer. There's no high-pressure salespeople either. OMF is employee-owned, and they make it all about you. Double-sided mattresses, and they even email you when it's time to flip your mattress. Stop by their factory on Almerton Road in Clearwater and see for yourself, or visit one of their stores in Tampa or Brandon. There's nothing like a good night's sleep, and you'll get it with the Original Mattress Factory, and you'll get it for less. The Original Mattress Factory. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com. After a car accident, there are many questions that you need answers to. Who pays for my car repairs? Who pays for the medical bills? What about my lost wages? And more. The personal injury law firm of Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes has been answering these questions for their clients for nearly 70 years. Since 1955, they've been a voice of the injured in the legal system. As one of the longest established law firms in Tampa Bay, Pernick, Caulfield, Averill, and Noyes is here to answer your questions. Listen to their live call-in radio show on this channel every Tuesday evening from 5 to 6 p.m. or call them at 727-796-8282 or visit them at voiceoftheinjured.com. Offices Clearwater, non-attorney spokesperson. Grace Family Church now has 8 locations to serve you throughout the Tampa Bay area. Talking about the 8th campus, here's Senior Pastor Craig Altman.
In the Land O'Lakes area, I would say between Land O'Lakes and Trinity off of Suncoast and 54. Brand new campus. So if you're looking to get in on the ground floor, it's an exciting campus, a lot of young people, and I encourage you to check it out.
And if you're wondering what denomination Grace Family Church is, Executive Pastor Chris Bonham explains.
Well, it's actually a non-denominational church, but the neat thing is all the denominations you just mentioned, a lot of them do come. And so what's neat is this melting pot of different beliefs, but we come together based off the Bible and really teach that.
Visit one of the 8 campuses of Grace Family Church. For more information, go to gfcflorida.com. That's gfcflorida.com.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to the home team here on the Tan Talk Radio Network. Glad to have you with us. JC is checking in from the Cayman Islands.
Oh,
He's
nice.
Watching the program in the Cayman Islands on Facebook Live. Glad to have you with us, JC. And it's nice. Radio is wonderful, and I've been in it for 48 years now. But it's nice that with Facebook and the
new
internet,
technologies, yeah.
TanTalkRadioNetwork.com, that you can watch it from anywhere in the world.
That's right.
And listen anywhere in
I
the
also want to
world.
remind everybody that the TuneIn Radio app, you can also get Tan Talk Radio anywhere on your phone.
TuneIn. What do you put in? TuneIn Radio.
TuneIn Radio and just search Tan Talk Radio Network, and boom.
All right.
All our shows are there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go back to the phone lines. And we've got Baseball Al, Tampa Al calling in. Hello, Al. You're on the home team.
Yeah, I saw the dumbest play that cost the Yankees a 1-0 lead, and they cost Cole the game. That shortstop, I should fire him. He missed that ball from Soto and
The relay, Gleyber Torres.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And what's his name? Got the third. If he catches that ball, what's his name don't score.
Shohei Ohtani.
Ohtani would have been on second when what's his name? The right fielder. He hit a fly ball. Ohtani went to third, and then what's his name? Freeman if he flied out in the 8th inning, the game would have been over because they got him out of the 9th inning.
Well, that's why they play the games, though, Al.
Yep.
You never know what's going to happen.
But how could a guy miss a ball from the outfielder to second base?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. That cost the Yankees the game. There would have been no 10th inning. There would have been no grand slam home run. And
Yeah, sometimes
he gets all his glory, which he should have had at all. He should have made the third out in the 8th inning. And that would have been it.
Sometimes it's the little things, the little things that they here and there, then they're not executed. It can make the difference. But that's part of sports. I guess you don't know what's going to happen next.
But Moogie Betts would have hit that ball. Ohtani went to third, and what's his name flied out after that, and it would have been over.
Al, I was going to ask you, you're a big baseball guy. Where do you think the Rays should play for the next 3 years?
I don't know. Well, they don't play in Tampa, I guess. They don't want to play in Tampa.
All right.
Well, I'm sure they would like to stay in the whether it's Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater, somewhere within the Tampa Bay area. I'm sure they would rather do that. I've heard some suggestions that the thought of going to Orlando or Miami or out of state somewhere is not one that would be appealing in terms of keeping they would not make the fan base happy. I'll put it that way.
Well, as someone who drives to Orlando 50 times a year with the Magic, it's really, I think, a misnomer to say that they're going to Orlando, because where Disney Wide World of Sports is about 30 to 45 minutes this side of Orlando. So it's about midway between Lakeland and Orlando.
I think the mindset that a lot of people here would have, they would choose not to go. They would just look at that as, even if it's not
It's
overall,
about an hour drive.
Yeah, and even if it's not that bad, they would look at it as kind of a big deal. Whereas
I would say it's something between Orlando and Tampa.
What's that?
Yeah.
Orlando and Tampa, get a facility between Hampton or
Well, that's
Orlando.
kind of what Disney is. I mean, it's closer to Orlando than it is to Tampa.
I think the idea that it would be outside of the Tampa Bay area would get into people's heads, and that wow, the team's not going to be here.
That would take Port Charlotte out of consideration.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, again, I think that the suggestions that obviously Steinbrenner Field would be, I think, the best choice. But the other guy made a good point in that article I read about Al Lang being that possibility there.
Yeah, that'd probably be a good place they would go. And I don't know if they ever thought about doing it.
Yeah, they're going to obviously have to decide on something pretty soon.
And how much conflict would there be with the Rowdies and Rays schedules too? Because I know that they had some games both on the same day at times.
And of course, maybe being the Sternberg owning both could maybe have some pull and make the decisions about.
It'd be a lot easier to move the Rowdy game than it would be to move the Rays game.
Yeah, exactly. But they're going to obviously have to do something here.
Yeah. That would be familiarity, at least for the fans that are used to going to St. Petersburg for the game. And a lot of people take the buses there.
The biggest thing, I think, is that if they can make it work, you want a place where the most fans can go on a regular basis. And it's not going to be as big a hassle. That's the thinking is.
Yeah.
For the next 3 years, you want them to be able to go to the games and enjoy themselves and be able to get there.
Well, we'll see what happens. And as John Bychek was saying, probably by late November, early December, they got to announce something as to what their plans are. So we'll see what happens.
I thought they were building a stadium somewhere already.
Well, they're going to, but it's not going to be ready till 2028, so they're going to move into it. And I think that they're just saying it's going to be too expensive to repair the damage to Tropicana Field. That it's just not worth it.
Bad.
Yeah.
Well, Al, give us a score for the Bucs game tomorrow.
Halftime, Atlanta 10-7, 21-20. Atlanta.
21-20. Oh, a tough loss there. All right. We got you down.
Did you see that game the other day? The Ravens, they did whatever they want to do with Tampa.
Yeah. The defense really struggled for the Bucs that game. They gave up a lot of big play. Now Ravens,
it's a good first quarter.
They did. That's true. They did good the first quarter, but then kind of the wheels fell off. I mean, the Ravens have two of the biggest offensive weapons in football: Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. It's tough.
Did you notice how the Ravens could score anytime they wanted to?
Yeah.
And they let Tampa come back. It was playing with Tampa. They let them come back a little bit.
Wouldn't be surprised to see a Baltimore-Kansas City AFC championship.
Well, that's what it was last year.
Yeah.
But
we'll see what happens this year.
Yeah.
Kansas City's been tearing up everything.
They're the only undefeated team still. I mean, they're still just rolling along. You got a player like Patrick Mahomes that can make the difference.
What you're worried about now is the Steelers might be making some noise.
Yeah. Pittsburgh looks good. They went back to Russell Wilson at quarterback. They won big over the Jets. And listen, they're Tomlin can coach. He knows what he's doing.
Very unfortunate thing in Cleveland where Deshaun Watson went down with a severe injury, and the crowd was cheering. That he was injured.
I know. You don't like to see that, whatever you think about the situation.
What's the score on Evans?
Well, the hamstring, it's week to week, I think.
Yeah.
He's out for 3 weeks.
Out for 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He can come back after the bye.
That'll hurt the Buccaneers, too. Without Evans.
Yeah, it's going to be tough without Evans
and Chris Godwin. Their other great wide receiver. Other guys got to step up. That's the bottom line. They're professionals. They're being paid a lot, and I think they have talent. They just need to show up. I mean,
one thing Baker Mayfield has done is he really spreads the ball around a lot. Yeah, he uses all of his receivers and targets all of them.
I'm looking for a breakout game from Jalen McMillan, the rookie wide receiver out of Washington. Look, he did very well in the preseason. He's been kind of quiet to start the regular season. I'm looking for him to have a big game tomorrow.
Well, Al, we always appreciate hearing from you. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All
Al.
right. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead.
I was going to say real quickly, I'm looking at Al Lang Field. No.
Don't think
There's just no room.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's pretty much – there's no room in the outfield, period, because the street runs right behind it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then center field would be right field. It's figured right now for soccer. So either move what existing bleachers are back. There's just no room.
What about the Phillies facility where the Threshers play?
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
I would think the Yankees would give it up before the Phillies would.
Yeah, and there's a real high mound as well that they would have to do something with, and they kind of like that for the grass seats, the knoll seats out there. So I don't think the Phillies would be willing to tear up their ballpark. It's one of the nicer ballparks in spring training.
Yeah, I think if anything, there'll be some pressure from Major League Baseball for the Yankees to help them out.
Yeah. I think in my mind, it's come down to Steinbrenner Field or Disney, one of the two, that they'll end up at one of those two places. We need to hit our final break, and then we will come back, give you our scores on the Bucks and the Falcons coming up tomorrow, and we can still squeeze another phone call or so in if you call right now. 727-441-3000. More of the home team coming up on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Sooner or later, you're going to need a plumber. It's just a fact of life. Want somebody honest and reliable? The plumber I use is the Bearded Plumber. I've known Thomas since his high school days and now is an established plumber who offers 24-hour-a-day full service because plumbing emergencies don't wait. Keep this number handy. You know you're going to need it. It's 866-882-3273. The Bearded Plumber, 866-882-3273. One of the questions I'm often asked is, how do you do it? With my busy schedule of working for the Lightning, Magic, Buccaneers, and the home team, I need to be in very good health. One person I have to thank for keeping me in good health for years is Dr. Troy Stirk of Stirk Family Medicine. He's helped me keep my blood pressure in check, my heart running smoothly, and an overall healthy feeling that is confirmed by my lab results. If you're looking for a good family physician, I heartily recommend Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine. You can reach his office at 813-264-7922. That's 813-264-7922. I'll tell you, Dr. Stirk is fantastic, and I'm sure you'll feel the same way if you become one of his patients. So now that you know my secret to staying healthy with a busy schedule, it's your turn. Call Dr. Troy Stirk at Stirk Family Medicine, 813-264-7922. My favorite restaurant in all of Tampa Bay is J. Alexander's at the corner of Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of I-275 in Tampa. The prime rib is to die for. Steaks are just as mouthwatering, and that's not all. Seafood like salmon, ahi tuna, shrimp, or crab cakes. Don't forget the salads and appetizers like my favorite French onion soup, and top it all off with a homemade dessert. J. Alexander's in Tampa at Dale, Mabry, and Cypress, just south of 275. Open 7 days, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Reservations suggested but not necessary.
Rinkside Sports is your headquarters for all things hockey. From skates to pads and gloves to jerseys to socks. Anything you need to make your hockey experience a winning one. You'll find all the same brands the pros use, like Bauer and CCM. Rinkside Sports has 2 locations to serve you, inside Advent Health Center Ice in Wesley Chapel and inside the TGH Sportsplex in Brandon. Rinkside Sports. If it's hockey, it's Rinkside Sports.
10 years ago, my wife and I started a nonprofit ministry to help victims of domestic violence called Reach Out, Speak Out. Would you consider a donation to help our ministry? If you'd like to join our auxiliary board or just be a friend to Reach Out, Speak Out by helping with your time, talents, or treasures whenever you're available, please contact us by visiting reachoutspeakout.org. Please send your donation to Post Office Box 4979, Tampa, Florida 33677, 5013C number 47163. 0804. Happy 60th birthday, Cambridge Christian School. Hi, everyone. I'm Paul Porter, voice of the Lightning, here to tell you about the exciting growth happening here at CCS. Coming this fall is our state-of-the-art 45,000 square foot high school and STEM lab. For over 60 years, Cambridge Christian's award-winning academics, athletics, and the arts has been changing the way you think about Christian education. Visit us today at ccslancers.com.
The Florida State Fair is coming in February. But did you know the Florida State Fair is so much more than just a fairgrounds? Everything from hunting and fishing shows to trade shows and competitions to men's and women's conferences to concerts and so much more. Be sure and circle your calendars for February 6th through the 17th, 2025 for the 121st edition of the Florida State Fair at the Florida State Fairgrounds in Tampa. See you at the fair.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to our final segment here on the home team, and it's good to have many of you with us. Special thanks to Ben Smith from T&D Golf and Ricky Netkowski, also joining us from Rinkside Sports. We certainly appreciate him as well. We were scheduled to have John Romano on today. We couldn't do it. We'll try for next Saturday and get his thoughts on the situation with the Tampa Bay Rays, and just a tough situation to be in. And you know that there's got to be a lot of communication going back and forth between MLB and the Rays. And one thing that the commissioner did say is that the Rays will be playing next year. He dispelled any idea that they would just sit out until the new stadium was ready. That's not going to happen. So they will be playing, and they won't be playing all their games on the road, as has also been suggested. So there's a lot to sort out, a lot of things to do. And, when you look at it, Jason, you think about the baseball aspect and the players and all of that, but all of the people in the front office for the Rays that are having to move their offices because it's not feasible to be there anymore.
No. It's a big hassle. It's a big ordeal. So, but the hope is they can find a spot they're gonna find a place that's gonna be as convenient as it can, and at least that will be the place for the next 3 seasons. You hope you don't have to move, like play one place this year, then it changes for the next year. No, hopefully they pick a place that'll work for the next 3 years until the new stadium is ready.
Because wherever it is, it's going to have to take some dollars and investment to make it feasible. So they're not going to just play there 1 year. It'll be there for the 3 years. So, but then, you also look at the families and, relocating families,
affects
front
everyone.
Office people, players.
Are we talking 3 calendar years or 2 seasons?
3 seasons.
3 seasons.
The 25, 26, and 27 season.
Okay.
Baseball is one of the only sport that doesn't cross over into the new year, so it's all in the same year. So it is 3 full seasons that'll have to be somewhere
we were
else.
thinking last week, we were talking about it, that there was 2027 they move into the new state, but it's not. It's 2028. So
the trop expires 2027. There's where that number comes in.
Right.
Their lease was up in 2027.
Yeah, I guess with the hurricane, it's already expired.
Milton took care of that.
Yeah, we finally had that open.
I wonder if our friend and friend of the program, Stu Sternberg's getting a nice big fat insurance check out of this one.
Well, I think the insurance is actually with the city of St. Petersburg. So the city is actually on the hook.
We were talking to Rock Riley last week. He's saying that's kind of the whole thing is very complex and complicated with the insurance. Like some things are covered, some things are not necessarily. That they're all going over, but it's one big mess.
I'm sure there are millions of people in the Tampa Bay area that can confirm that, because anytime you're dealing with your insurance company, whether it's on your home or your car, there's always the asterisk. There's always this is not an effect.
They have to make it as difficult as possible in an already very stressful, difficult situation, and still have to complicate matters even worse.
And I saw this past week, too, there are so many scammers out there now that are pulling up and offering to do electrical work or plumbing or roof work or whatever. Ed?
What?
Oh, I thought you were
No.
You had a story about the scam.
He was signaling we have 5 minutes to go, and I thought he had something to say. So, all right.
You in the back of the room? Yes.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and give our scores as far as the game coming up tomorrow. Ed, we'll start with you since you already got the mic on.
I'm going to be a downer on this because I think the offense will be okay. I'm worried about our defense more than offense, to tell you the truth. Yeah, but I'm going to say final score is going to be Falcons 28, Bucks 16.
Okay, all right.
And I'm going to go with let's go with 14 14-7 at halftime, Falcons.
All right. Very good. Jason, how do you see it?
I'm going to say that our defense in some weird way is going to wake up and have a good game because they really were humiliated last week. I'm going to go. I think the Bucs are going to win 24-14.
All right.
And I'm going to go at halftime, the Bucs being ahead 17-7.
All right. And I have the Bucs pulling it out 31-21. And leading 17-14 at halftime. So it should be a good game tomorrow. The weather's going to be beautiful.
Creamsicle
day.
That's
back.
right.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, be sure and wear your creamsicle outfit if you're going to the game. And I like that they bring that for one game a season.
I know. They started doing it a while, then they stopped for a reason I still have no idea.
Glazers hate it.
Really?
I've heard that from players. That remember when they thought about bringing it back for a long time, the Glazers said no.
Yeah,
they did not like those losing colors.
Well, you know what's interesting is,
and then the rest of the nation was like, we love it.
Well, as much as people criticized it at the time, that uniform is revered now. I watch an special on the NFL Network. They did the top NFL uniforms of all time. The old Bucs, creamsicle with Bucko Bruce, was like around number 5 on the list. People really love that look now, and you still see so many people in the stands wear it.
Every game.
I think it should be back a couple times a year.
Well,
the only tragedy that ever happened was we did not get to see Tom Brady in a creamsicle.
With the creamsicle. That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I wore the number 12. It was Doug Williams jersey I got a couple years ago to the game Monday night. I wore the Doug Williams at number 12.
Well, it should be a lot of fun tomorrow. And, of course, once again, we want to express our heartfelt condolences to the family of Amir Abdur-Rahim, the whole USF basketball family and athletic department and supporters. And I would think that the assistant coach is going to be just taking over the team for this season.
Probably. It's going to be a very difficult season. That's a devastating loss.
But sometimes this rallies them together. And they may say, let's do it for the coach.
I know.
Let's do it in his memory and in his honor.
He was there for one season, but he's left a long-lasting mark.
And that's a program where a coach made a difference.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I just want to give you a final reminder, Monday night, huge night at Amalie Arena. Steven Stamkos and the Nashville Predators come to town. They'll be honoring Stamkos, and they've got a very special ceremony planned for him during one of the timeouts. So you'll want to see that, and you want to be there as well. And it'll be the last time that I can say Steven Stamkos as opposed to Steven Stamkos. But there'll be a lot of Lightning fans there wearing their Stamkos jerseys. That's for sure.
Certainly.
Well, hey, thanks to everyone for joining us here on the home team. Big Ed, thanks for sitting in, filling in for Matt. And we will talk to you again next Saturday at 9 o'clock right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network, AM 1340 and 1350, FM 106.1, 102.3, and Facebook
Live.